Ghostly greetings, holler at your boy Prue. I just finished Stephen King's The Institute. However, I am very, very tired. It is later. It is way past your boy's bedtime. I like to get a good 6 hours of sleep. So let's get into this review, which will probably be a little shorter. And my opinion of this book, I was warned, will be a bit biased. As a lot of people know, I am a Republican. I support the red. I'm a gun-loving, beer-drinking hillbilly for the most part. Not far right, not extremist, but red. I vote red usually. And apparently there were some jabs at Donald Trump in this book. But let's get to it. Let's see what I think. Let's talk about the plot. The Night Knocker, Tim Dickinson's part. I really like that. That was the first 50 pages, and I blew through that. That was so interesting to me, getting the job and being a former cop. And I thought that was so cool. But then you get to Luke's part, and he's a kid, and he wakes up at a hidden school and learning how to do X-Men. Basically, his part was the X-Men. And I was like, well, that's cool, but not as much as I wanted the other part. Not much as I wanted to hear about the Night Knockers and giving the homeless girl's pickles and drawing a camera sign and all that malarkey. So I'm going to give the plot a B, because the main plot is the kid in the school and having to escape. And that was cool, but I was really interested in what was happening on the other side, outside of the school, more than what's happening on the inside of the school. It's Harry Potter, but backwards. For a plot, I'm giving it a B. Characters. Oh, characters are awesome. Avery was my favorite character in the book. They were cool. Luke was fun, but a little whiny at points, but he's fucking 12 or some shit, and he cuts... Never mind, spoiler. So he deserves it. He got to be a little whiny, and he's a kid. I don't do well with younger age children in books because I cannot relate. I just cannot relate to children. That's a big part of it. But Tim was cool. The sheriff was cool. All the workers at the Institute were cool. I really liked this cover, by the way. This is the UK cover. And I was very insistent that I get this one because I like it a lot more. My father-in-law delivered. God bless your heart on that, Chris. That was amazing. Thank you so much. But for characters, I'm going to also give it a B. I found them good. Not the best none of the characters in this book, I will say, is the best Stephen King characters of all time. I have a couple of my favorites just displayed out here. Not for any reason at all, just I read those and I like those. My shelf's full. So I just put those out like those because those were some of my favorite reads. And this is by far does not compare to those. The characters were the big reason why. Well, let's talk about them. Let's do pros and cons. Pros was what I liked. Cons, what I didn't like. So, pros. Well, it's Stephen King, so the writing's on point. And you lose yourself in the story. So that's always a solid day. Just to lose yourself in a story and get away from all this junk in the world. And an X-Men story, that's not something I remember King tackling. Because, Firestarter doesn't exist. I'm playing. This wasn't even original for King. This, however, was fun. I like the characters. I like the journey. Excuse me. Sorry, it's late. I don't do well after dark. I turn into a pumpkin. But the pros for Kings, of course, are the writing was great. The ending was cool, which is good because Stephen King sometimes can't nail an ending. And I like the journey. The cons, however, there were a lot of political talk in this, and that is not something I wanted right now for escapism. I get it. You don't like Donald Trump. I get it. There were some jabs at Trump in here. There were some jabs at Obama in here, too. So if I'm going to be completely unbiased, yes, this wasn't just a... but I was using this to escape from the stuff, and there was the stuff in this. So that was a con for me. Also, without giving away too much of a spoiler, I was more wrapped up into the secondary character story than I was the Luke Evans story. Luke Evans, that's not right. Luke Ellis, than Luke Ellis's story. I cared more about the cop than I did about the kid. And I didn't get a lot of cop time. And I thought also some of the chapters just went on too long. I remember I got to part 45. I'm like, there's one chapter that's like this. No, I'm playing, but it's still quite massive. I'm like, Jesus, Stephen King, is this a 3-chapter book? Gosh, most people have acts. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Beginning, problem, conclusion. No, this was chapter. So the chapters did go a little long. Journey. How did I like the book? I loved the book. I thought it was good. It's not as good as some of the more current Stephen King I read, i.e. 11/22/63 and The Outsider, but it was not bad. It is very good Stephen King, but not the best Stephen King. I like the characters, like the setting, like the way his story progressed, and I thought the X-Men school was kind of cool. So overall, let's discuss overall. Cool characters, which I've said a lot. That's what I like about King. He's a character guy. And I say characters a lot because that's what draws me into some of these stories. Cool people, fun setting, cool idea. Problems. Had some political junk in it, which I'm overdone with the political stuff right now. I just needed a break from it. I picked up the book to turn off the TV, and the TV snuck its way into the book. And the main character was, to me, not as fascinating as the secondary character. So overall rating, I'm going to give it a B. It's a good book. You'll have fun with it. And you're going to get lost in the plot and trying to figure out the mystery with the Institute. If you haven't read Modern King, though, I would not start with this. The Outsider, I adored, and 11/22/63 is just fantastic. I know it gets hate, but Elevations, it gets some hate. That's what I'm going to say about Elevation. Oh, it's fun, and I thank my father-in-law so much for buying me this. However, I will say this will be the last King that I review for a while, mostly because my TBR is massive, and now I've only got one Stephen King book left to read, and I want to kind of keep that for if something bad or traumatic happens in life, I can read Stephen King, which is kind of like my security blanket. But I will set this on the King shelf, and there it'll sit for a while until I pick up something else that will go there. And I love that cover. But it's been your boy Prue. Thank you for watching. And please do not post hate-filled political comments or positive political comments. You can just agree with me. That's fine. But don't be mean to each other over politics. We're better than that here. We're better than that. I know you're thinking, Prue, how can you talk about Stephen King book and not bring it? Because I'm not here for that. I'm here for the stories and the fun peoples. Oh, but can we just talk about a little bit of a spoiler? At 8 minutes, I'm going to talk about just a small spoiler, and then we're going to go on. Okay, it's 8 minutes. I really liked the Night Knocker storyline. I really liked how he started off in the town. He got the job. He just sort of just showed up, and it's like he got his apartment. He works part-time at another job and talks about his lunches. And just his life was just so interesting to me, and I was interested in what he was doing, him getting dates, him renting a fucking apartment above a garage. But then we got to Luke Ellis, and I was like, oh, I want to unravel this mystery about the Institute. But the whole time I'm at the Institute, I'm thinking about this other guy, and I spent way too much time at the Institute and not enough time with the character that I liked, which is why I give the book a B. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite. I like The Outsider more. I loved Revival. I loved 11/22/63. These are right here are Kings I would recommend to anybody. Of course, It and The Stand are also on there. One book I will never recommend to a soul, though, is Pet Sematary. That's just too fucked up. Great. Stay creepy. I love Pet Sematary, but I'm a fucked up kind of guy. Y'all shouldn't be fucked up as me. Y'all shouldn't. All right. Thank you. Deuces.